here. Welcome to Wits End Ranch. Today I'm doing a necessary ranch job, a tractor job, which isn't quite near as fun as a horse job or a cattle job for me, but a necessary job. A little spring maintenance on the gravel driveway. Gravel driveway is, the straightaway here is about a half mile, and then we got some other maintenance I got to do, but really cleaning it up nice this year. Look at it, it's quite amazing. We got dry spots and spots that still have snow, but we've had 80 degrees last couple of days. This will be it though. It'll get down to 40 degrees tonight, and that'll be the high tomorrow, and then we'll kind of level off. But it's springtime in Minnesota here. But I found this has worked pretty well for me. See, I don't know if you see how rough this driveway has gotten. It's at least firm, but it's got a lot of divots, bumps, and holes. And I just take a regular back blade and slant it towards the middle of the driveway, and kind of cutting the edge and bringing it towards the center. Pretty much what they do here on the gravel roads, which they do generally a fantastic job of. And just got to go slow so it doesn't bump all over. The theory is you make a crown, so the center is a little bit higher and then it slopes off, but you want it to slope off without having a bunch of gravel going shoulder and lose all that valuable gravel. And then that way it drains off. You can see what it kind of turns this here, all these divots, into this smooth, and then it's dragging all the gravel that always makes its way out as the rain and snow melts off. It gravel travels out to the shoulder. Just got to go slow. I've tried. If I go faster than this, it'll hop. That blade will kind of hop and make these divots and make it like a washboard. So slow and steady. It's also important to have the right amount of moisture. Too much moisture and it just kind of makes a mucky mess. Too little moisture, too dry, and it's like scraping concrete. It doesn't do much and it's too hard on equipment. And the sun, this is really dried here out, but yet I got frozen snow and ice up ahead. You can see where it's drier here. It still pulls it in, but it's not quite the same. It'll bounce a little more. You can see behind how it kind of got a washboard effect, but I'm just pulling the excess gravel forward. Now here is a good visual, a great example of the before and after. Now, here's what I'm talking about. These rocks, they get stuck in there and they get dragged along. So on this side, it's already been groomed with the blade, and you can see it. It pulls the gravel from the outside edge in, which it just always makes it works its way outside, especially in the winter time. And then you can see people kind of drive on the edges when it was soft. See how much gravel got into the grass. There's not much I can do about that if I really want to take a rake, because if I take the blade to here, I'll maybe slice too much of my grass. But I'll go over this. This just makes ruts. It makes it not dry. It makes the water just cool there, and it gets worse and worse this way. And here's the after. It actually turned out really well. I went over this 3-4 times. This was a really bad spot. I still have a little bit of a divot where tires had been, but you can see it's going to be much better now. I pulled as much rock in from there as I could. I went way over as far as I could really do it, but it'll be sloped on either side, so there'll be a elevation in the middle and slope left and right. A slope towards the left, slope towards the right. On a side note, I don't know if you can hear the toads. They are in full throat. It is spring. And we're moving right along. Now there's one more step to this. It's actually one of my more favorite steps. It means I'm almost done and I can go a little faster, and it's a double-edged effect, but that'll be later. Look at a dragonfly. Wow, mid-April and a dragonfly. That's a big one. I love dragonflies. Eat those mosquitoes. We've been having such dry summers that you really can't work a driveway when it's dry. This is exactly what I've been using for moving snow, only it's the opposite effect. I turn the blade the other angle so it pushes all the snow off into the ditch. The joys of winter up here. But it does make these springs and summer much sweeter. What a difference being out in the open versus some cover and some shade and some wind protection. I mean, there were spots in here, the ice was pretty thick to even scrape it. Got snow on the shoulders. It's been 70 or 80 the last 4 days, and it's amazing how much it has melted down. But okay, now that part of the job is done. Pull the pin. Pull this leveler straight. Drop the pin. Now I'm going to go to the harrow, or the drag. This drag has little teeth on it. You can adjust the depth of them. I don't know if you can see the little teeth there. They're kind of ground down. Also, the bars help level everything off. So I'll hook it right to this. This will be the double duty. Put the pin in with the clevis. Cotter pin. This twist in the chain helped me a lot. Twisting it like this with the four-wheeler, it's not as big a deal in the tractor. With the four-wheeler, if I didn't twist it like this and I make a sharp turn, one time the four-wheeler rear wheel like this, imagine this is the four-wheeler and this chain was closer there. I made a tight turn and the small four-wheeler wheel, the chain grabbed it, wrapped around, the drag flew up and punctured the tire. Phase 2. Phase 2 is this now, so I made a trip there and back with that blade like I showed, with it angled. It grabbed all the gravel on the edge, pulled it towards pretty much the center, and of course you can't leave it that way. That's really good, valuable gravel. So now it'll spread out kind of in the middle, and that's a two-pronged process here. The blade, I got it a little bit low. I can pick it up with my adjustment here. Pick the blade up. Now it's just straight across or horizontal because I just want to keep it all that gravel in the middle. And then the drag, the harrow, will help spread that out a little bit in the center. It's not a perfect process. It could be better, but this is how I do it. Smooth it out like this. I got to switch from snow removal to driveway maintenance. Well, there's one side done. The left side's already been leveled off a little bit. My biggest enemy right now is these big rocks. I've still got a few of them. Now we'll walk the driveway and pick those out. Just keep doing that process. There's one coming up, and there's one caught in there, so they'll kind of gather them and drop them. You got to watch the front and the back. You can see it crank it pretty hard, and especially when you twist that chain. Otherwise, the chain might be underneath that blade. But my senses are a little more heightened after that harrow. The ATV wheel grabbed the tire. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Happy trails. We'll have to talk about that sometime. That happened this winter.